putas.
Insert month this video may come out.
Kevin, I've been wondering since it's been a while since we hung out that if you want to go watch the Batman together.
I knew I would come to this.
Huh?
Listen, I'm gonna cut straight to the chase. You're not dragging me into a nearly 3-hour film about the dumbest looking emo furry whatever crime fighter. So, get the out of my property.
Wait, hold up, wait! Okay, fine.
Jesus!
But I gotta pour my Batman hype somewhere.
You're not gonna leave me alone, are you?
Nope.
Fine. But we're gonna do the first Batman movie ever made. The 1960...
Batman 89!
No! No! Alright. Well, if we're gonna do this, I'm gonna need some backup to help my sanity. Yes, Juan?
Yes, sir?
Oh, great.
Juan, why are you here and why are you dressed like that?
You lost a bag.
That is correct, sir.
Huh. Did you get a haircut?
Gone.
Of course. Welcome everybody, I'm Lewis.
And I'm Kevin. When it comes to superheroes,
None are quite as impactful,
and lame,
I was gonna say dramatically poignant, as the Dark Knight himself, Batman.
if I disagree now before the movie even starts, then that'd be a record. A record I'm too lazy to break. So let's just get this over with. So the movie starts with Oh, wait, miss.
Anyway, released in 1989, Batman was the first big-budget adaptation of the beloved hero. Directed by visionary director Tim Burton, this was a massive hit at the box office, forever solidified the darker, more grittier side of comic book movies for years to come.
Sir? Sir? Sir, please.
It's gonna take a lot more than that to wake him up.
Thank you for the advice, Master.
I like your cut, G.
Thank you!
No problem. Oh. Damn. Oh, I missed that logo. The new one's garbage. Are we done here?
Nope.
So the movie starts with an opening credit sequence that
Is beautifully composed, accompanied by the majestic score done by Danny Elfman himself. It perfectly sets up the mood for the rest of the movie.
Too bad the visuals that are shown are literally the blandest, most ridiculously dark, and I don't mean tone dark. I mean, what the hell is this actually supposed to be? Is that a rock?
Well, as the sequence ends, it's revealed to be the Bat logo. Ah, Gotham City. Isn't it beautiful? The Gothic architecture with its instantly recognizable Burton aesthetic. It's no wonder that future interpretations take from this movie.
Cool. Who the hell would want to live here?
Listen, if you're gonna bring up the supervillains...
Oh no, I won't. Look at this shit. The streets are radically crowded, the homeless are literally just vibing. It's basically if New York and Detroit had a bastard child.
As we see this wonderful city, the film pays special attention to a family of 3 exiting the Monarch Theater.
Alright, I suppose we should start with the origin of Batman. Those are the Waynes, right?
Nope, that's just another family. Batman already exists in this universe.
Espera, ¿qué? ¿Qué? ¿Qué?
The family gets mugged by some thugs who head up to a rooftop to look over their ill-gotten goods. They begin to discuss the rumors of a bat creature who killed another thief when...
Oh, it's all over the pavement.
Oh no!
You know, it's not that funny.
You can't be serious. That's the first thing we see of him. He looks like he's taking an elevator to get to the ground floor. Look at him! What is that suit? How is he possibly going to fight? Oh, thank the Lord! We're done here. We're done here. Yo me voy pa la puta. Cuídense.
Wait, look! The suit's bulletproof!
¿Qué? This dude literally just gets up and proceeds to awkwardly kick these guys' asses. Ew. God, that doesn't look good.
What's the issue? It's just an intimidating face. There's nothing wrong with it.
You gotta be kidding me. He looks constipated.
Anyway, this fantastic introduction ends with one of the most iconic lines in the entire film.
I'm Batman.
Funny little thing, that line was improvised by Keaton himself. Originally it was gonna be I am the Knight, which is fitting, but also I'm glad with the one that Keaton went with. After Batman interrogates the thug, we cut to a press conference where District Attorney Harvey Dent, played by Billy D. Williams, who took on this role because he was expecting to come back on a potential sequel as the villain Two-Face.
Given who actually ended up playing Two-Face in Batman Forever, yeah, that's a Warner Brothers move.
Dent promises the people that he and Commissioner Gordon would root out the source of corruption in Gotham, crime boss Carl Grissom, and bring him to justice.
While Harvey gives his speech, one of Grissom's top enforcers, Jack Napier, played by Jack Nicholson, oh fuck you whoever wrote this, watches the event.
Decent people shouldn't live here. They'd be happier someplace else.
See, even he agrees that Gotham is a shithole to live in.
Ah yes, take the words of a criminal.
A criminal that's smarter than anyone else in this movie. Not me, him!
Oh.
With that said, his mistress warns him about what Grimson would do if he found out about the relationship. But Jack rubs it off, thinking the old man can't run the city without him.
As the thug gets taken to an ambulance, a reporter named Alexander Knox, played by Robert Wool, an original character for the movie, comes to interview the lieutenant about the continued strikes of Batman, but gets told off as a result. This does a really effective job at endearing Knox to the audience, and it's a shame that he never got transitioned to the main comics. Also, that lieutenant guy from earlier, yeah, he works for Grissom as well.
Oh wow, the asshole cop is also working for the gangster? Who could have seen that coming? Back at the office, Knox is treated as a joke by the rest of the reporters, as it should, except for one Vicky Vale, played by Kim Basinger, who has arrived at Gotham to investigate the Batman case. She's also gonna be our damsel in distress for the movie.
Isn't it kind of early to say that?
This is one of the earliest superhero movies ever made. I'm not expecting this to flip the trope on its head.
Grissom is worried about how Harvey could connect him back to his organization and access chemicals, in which Jack suggests they trash the office of any evidence. Grissom agrees and promotes Jack to lead the operation as, apparently, he's the only one he trusts to do it.
By the way, throughout the scene, Jack is wearing a purple suit and pulls out a Joker card from his lucky deck. You get it? Because he becomes the Joker, baby! It's almost as subtle as Lewis and this brick to his face.
Oh yeah, because when you think of the Joker, you totally think subtlety.
Touché.
Anyway, we cut to a fabulous party to support the upcoming parade, where Vicky is trying to find his host, the ever-mysterious Bruce Wayne.
Could you tell me which of these guys is Bruce Wayne?
Well, I'm not sure.
Played by Michael Keaton, who doesn't even know who he's playing. I knew that the backlash for your casting was harsh, but I didn't know you want to get out of this role that badly. Also, this sausage roll-looking twat is apparently Gordon. Yeah, that's not Gordon. Those more like Mark Hamill on the heavier side of things.
Gordon is called the Way, which allows both Vicky and Knox to explore the manor.
You mean trespassing?
No. Exploring. They comment on some of Bruce's artifacts and how he got them, in which the man himself shows up and properly introduces himself, and let's say he's a bit of a weirdo.
A huge understatement, because why would he act like he's not Bruce Wayne a few seconds ago and then now reveal who he is? What's the point of the facade in the first place?
They are in private now, so I guess Bruce felt more comfortable revealing himself instead of making a spectacle out of it in public.
What do you mean by the public? The event is at his house. Why would he need to hide in his own house?
Anywho,
You motherfucker! I swear to Christ, you actual piece of shit!
The conversation is cut short as Bruce's beautiful butler, played by Michael Goff, tells him about Gordon's unexpected exit, and Bruce leaves, where apparently he has cameras all over his mansion, including behind the giant mirror.
Juan!
Yes, sir?
I don't pay you to do my job!
Well, someone's got to do it, sir.
Get the f*** out of here! First off, that's very creepy. And secondly, how the hell does he have amazing audio quality on a camera from the late 80s? I don't care how rich you are, that's just unbelievable.
Bruce reviews the footage to find out that Gordon is heading to access chemicals and swiftly heads off.
The corrupt lieutenant has already arrived. He passes around pictures of Jack and orders the police officers to, and I quote, shoot to kill, know what I mean? Yeah, what other possible thing could you mean by that? Whatever. We cut to Jack and his crew opening the safe inside the office. And they find, surprise, surprise, nothing. Jack, of course, then points out that they've been ratted out.
I wonder who it could be.
Oh no, you don't get to play dumb on this one.
Okay, but who could have done it?
Juan!
Yes, sir.
Broom!
Oh, no, not again!
I'm paid not to care, sir.
Jack and his boys try to escape, and a gunfight commences until Batman arrives into the scene. He makes quick work of them, only barely leaving any without killing them. He confronts Jack before he can take a shot at the oblivious commissioner. However, Gordon is taken hostage by Jack's BFF and forces Batman to let Jack go, but not without giving one of the most awkward smiles I've ever seen. Seriously, what the hell is he even trying to do?
Trying to show off that he won't let Jack escape and isn't worried at all. It also makes for a cool, oh gosh moment, since so far Batman hasn't smiled at all in this film.
Yeah, well, if it was trying to be cool, it failed horribly. He just looks goofy and that costume isn't helping at all.
What do you mean? That's an iconic Batsuit that was an amazing first try at making a costume that people could take seriously while still keeping it very true to the comics.
But that costume looks very restricting, and Michael Keaton seems physically uncomfortable every second he's on screen. Also, how cool of Batman to just disappear and not do anything as Jack Ames takes his sweet ass time and executes the corrupt lieutenant. I don't care if he's corrupt. You're the hero. Why didn't you save him, you asshole?
Batman blocks one of Jax's bullets and it causes steam to hit him in the face as he falls off the rail, and the only thing keeping him from falling into a vat of chemicals is Batman, whose grip simply isn't enough as he lets go of Jack and he falls into the chemicals. A nice twist on adapting the Killing Joke origin.
Yeah, that's cool and all, but can you answer one question? What the f is that face? Take this movie seriously, my ass. Batman makes his escape through a clearly not smoke bomb, and he grapples up. But the cops can still see him, so the smoke is entirely pointless.
Not necessarily. It looks cool.
You.
Love you too. The next day, Vicky goes on a dinner date with Bruce Wayne at his place in order to learn more about him.
It's an incredibly awkward date too, and not in a cute way.
I actually really like this because it shows that Bruce isn't a very social person and hasn't really been around his own house that often, which is contrasted nicely when we cut to the next scene and it's of Alfred telling stories of Bruce as a kid, and they are all more lively than in the distant informal dinner table. This scene also does a great job at establishing the father-son dynamic Bruce and Alfred have, and it helps make Bruce come off more likable as a result. As this is happening though, Jack is getting his face fixed, but the doctor can only do so much, and after seeing his face on the mirror, it becomes clear that Jack is no more. And I love how they continue to keep his face shrouded in darkness up until he meets back with Grissom and only reveals himself as the Joker seconds before killing him. The acting, pacing, and music makes this one of the best introductions to a comic book villain, and is a fabulous way of bringing in the Joker.
I admit I have no complaints with that scene, but the scene that comes after is of Vicky waking up in the middle of the night to see What the hell is this movie? After that bit of ridiculousness, the next day comes around and Vicky invites Bruce to have dinner at her place, but he can't because of Batman business. He comes up with some bullshit excuse which Alfred completely contradicts, causing her to get suspicious. Alfred, I love you, but what the hell? Joker then meets up with the rest of the mob, with face paint that makes the size of his mouth look like he's being stung by bees, and tries to assert his dominance as their boss. One of them calls him out and deals with him by frying him alive with a toy buzzer, till he's nothing but a skeleton. How powerful is that toy, and where can I get one?
Listen, when it comes to the gag gadgets the Joker has, it's best not to question them.
I guess? This manages to get the rest of the gangsters to comply, and Joker goes all out to enact his plan. Whatever that is, because I'm not entirely sure what he's trying to do. Whatever. Focusing back to our hero, Vicky trails Wayne to a nearby alley. Well, I say it's an alley, but it looks more like a common sidewalk, especially with that hotel in the back. He leaves flowers on the ground because apparently the movie thinks we're dumb enough not to connect the idea that his parents died.
Well, this is the first time Batman's origin will be mentioned on the big screen, and given how Bruce is treated as a mysterious character, there's nothing wrong with holding on with explaining the death of the Waynes till later in the movie.
If they really wanted to make Bruce Wayne mysterious, they should have worked harder to make him interesting. Because so far, the mystery does less to make me intrigued of him, and more so makes him boring to watch. I do not care about this guy because I know nothing about him. I'm also not interested in finding out more because why should I?
Actually, that's not entirely true. It has been established that Bruce is a recluse whose only family is his butler. That naturally makes someone wonder what happened to his parents and what led him to becoming Batman.
Alright, now, and hear me out, why don't we know this information by now? For a story about the titular Batman, I know about 3 things about him, and even then, it's just whack. I mean, just look at this. Bruce goes to the courthouse where one of the mobsters is claiming that he's taking over for Grimson's business. However, the Joker shows up and does what I want to do whenever I'm writing scripts with Lois. Chaos ensues as Joker thugs shoot up the place, and our hero, Bruce Wayne, aka Batman, does nothing. Seriously, he just stays there and lets the Joker get away. After what happened in the chemical plant, this Rod has to be one of the most passive characters in a superhero movie.
Hey, to be fair, he clearly recognizes the Joker and was trying to process his situation.
Yeah, like the bullet that just bounces off this f***er's coat. Seriously, I know this guy's an emotionless but this is on a whole other level.
During the aftermath, we cut back to Wayne Manor, where Alfred, ever the father, encourages Bruce to settle down with Vicky, as Bruce clearly has an attraction to her. All the while, Joker is shown pictures taken by his #1 guy, Bob, and becomes infatuated with Vicky after seeing her pictures.
Ah, great. As if it wasn't enough to deal with the dull romance between Bruce and Vicky, now the villain gets involved in this shit.
Yeah, typically it's Batman and Joker's romance that people get way too into.
Maje, consigue ayuda.
I should. Joker goes forward with his plan as people begin to die sporadically thanks to a chemical called Smilex that he puts in various products, which leaves the victims with a terrifying smile. It's a nice combination of both funny and terrifying, which matches the Joker perfectly. In general, Jack Nicholson has been nailing this role, which makes sense given that he's such a huge fan of the character. Seeing the deaths on TV, Bruce looked into Jack's profile, finding out that he's talented in chemistry. A nice bit of detective work from Batman.
Oh yes, reading a psychological profile made by presumably a state official that lays out the psychological defects of a clearly unstable individual that the world's greatest detective absolutely needed to solve the crime.
Hey, it helps actively progress the plot at least.
How sad that you've gone to the point of coping where this is a praiseworthy note. Vicky heads to the museum, believing that it's a date with Bruce Wayne, but it's all a scheme from the Joker as he gasses the place and proceeds to do a... out of nowhere Prince number, which completely breaks the tone of the movie, and is a prime example of cringe before cringe was invented.
Well, which character is more fitting in breaking the tone than the Joker himself? Also, this film makes it a point that this character sees himself as a twisted artist that looks at normality of the world and wants to repaint it in his own form of chaotic art. This scene shows it by showing this pristine art museum and having it be vandalized by the clown, trying to be
The world's first fully functioning homicidal artist.
Joker meets with Vale and discusses his admiration for her more morbid photos, and asks her to help know more about Batman. And when she can't tell him anything, it leads to a confrontation that ends up with Batman coming to the rescue.
Just in time. Glad to know you always show up whenever the plot allows you to. The Dark Knight makes his exit and he calls upon his elephant mobile.
Oh, you did not just say about the OG Batmobile.
Oh yes I did! That impractical bat machine elephant trunk looking ass! Batman has a lame fight scene with the thugs, which is saying a lot when he fights one that acts like a ninja.
You can say that, but this moment will always be awesome.
We then get an overly extended drive to the Batcave where he goes through a rock wall that, thank God he gets that correctly. He goes to the Batcomputer where he has mouthwash right in front of it? Why?
Given that Bruce is rarely seen in public and doesn't even go to all the rooms in his manor, he probably spends a lot of time in the Batcave.
That's not the problem here. Where does he get the water to get rid of it afterwards?
The waterfall, I guess.
Well, at least we can finally relate to something.
Ew.
Oh, don't start that, you Batman x Joker shipper.
Batman investigates the source of the chemical that Joker is using to poison people, and he concludes that the toxin wouldn't work in the hairspray alone, but combined with lipstick and perfume, giving her a file to take to the press. She manages to do it, which allows for the removal of those products, ruining the Joker's plan.
So what? The movie's over? The Joker's big master plan has been foiled in a kind of underwhelming fashion, but still, the conflict has to be over.
Nope, we still got 48 minutes of the film left as the Joker is dead set on getting revenge on Batman.
Juan!
Yes, sir?
Bring me my bleach!
Bruce meets up with Vicky to tell her that he's Batman, but gets interrupted when the Joker arrives. Bruce puts on a show to get the Joker's attention by...
Now you want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts.
You see, this is why I never want to get on his bad side. Bruce gets shot by the Joker, but he was protected thanks to a metal server plate and uses that to slip away. All the while, Joker leaves Vicky a farewell gift. Man, I love that clown. He steals every scene he's in.
So much so that he completely overshadows our main character in a film called Batman. They have been dragging explaining his origins for what feels like an eternity.
Well, my impatient friend, we get those answers right now as Knox updates Vicky with a news report about the death of the famous doctor Thomas Wayne. Now, the only survivor was their kid, Bruce Wayne.
The mom, I guess. By the way, good job, movie. We are nearing the third act, and now I understand our main character's backstory. Hope the mystery was worth my lack of investment, and to think it gets worse! Because after the Joker offers to throw money out in a parade to call out Batman in his disguise for some reason, Bruce has a flashback to when his parents die, and it's revealed that Jack was the thug that killed them. What an utterly pointless and forced twist that's just an excuse to connect our hero and villain, which just brings a bigger problem into the equation. The worst character in this Batman movie is Batman himself! He barely appears throughout the movie, both as Batman and Bruce Wayne, and when he does, we learn basically nothing about him, making him either boring and weird or silly and very passive. I can see you making an argument for any other character, Joker, Alfred, Vicky, Knott. Hell, I'm way more invested in Bob than our main character.
I heavily disagree with that statement. As I have stated before, the film intentionally keeps its origin a mystery, given how this was the first time a lot of people would have been exposed to this character that is in the 60s series. This built a lot of intrigue in the character, and for the time, the reveal of his origin was seen as fresh before it became common. Also, it's not like they threw the origin out of nowhere. They have been building it up throughout the movie, from the dinner scene to Vicky trailing Bruce at the alley, and that he seems to spend all his time in the Batcave.
But none of that matters if I'm not invested in the character himself, and this guy is not interesting, nor cool enough to have my attention.
I don't think so. Whenever he's Batman, he captures that otherworldly kind of movement, which granted is due to his limited movement, but it works at making him seem intimidating. Michael has a quiet but purposeful whisper that makes him seem always in control, and the lighting along with the shadows helps a ton in his mystique. While he does get overshadowed by the much bigger screen presence of the Joker, this portrayal of Batman has become the template for other versions to come.
You know Batman kills
Yeah.
in this movie, right?
Yes, he does.
No, he hasn't killed anyone, at least not intentionally.
Roll the clip.
Well, there's an explanation for that.
Yeah. That Tim Burton didn't understand anything about Batman?
Oh, God, let's not start with this.
Oh! You know I will! Before getting onto the project, Tim Burton had little to no interest in either comic books or superheroes. He had to be given Batman comics and read through them shortly before production began, which explains this movie's odd take on the Batman mythos. Some being spot on and others completely missing the mark. What do I know? I'm just reading this off the internet. It's no wonder this film is an incohesive mess of ideas, and while we barely know Bruce as a character, because poor little Tim did not even understand what this character was about before doing this.
Okay, not only have you overly simplified what actually happened behind the scenes, but you clearly have been blanking out, because there's nothing about this film that can come off as incohesive.
Sirs, please. Clearly, both of you have quite passionate opinions about the film. So, that means that there's only one thing that could possibly settle this.
What?
Alright, boys, you're gonna go ahead and you're going to both take about 7 steps back. And then as soon as I call for the draw, you're gonna shoot each other.
Isn't it a little odd to be doing a shootout for a Batman review?
Listen, man, I just want to shoot this, man. Can we just get this over with?
Of course, sir.
Alright, could I at least continue talking about the movie while we're doing this?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So, anyway, as I was saying, after destroying Access Chemicals
And killing everyone in it!
hush it now, please. Joker starts his parade where he throws limited supplies of money to the poor and greedy of Gotham, which in a deleted scene it was revealed to have all been counterfeit with the Joker's face on it, paying off this line.
What do you want?
my face on the $1 bill.
How nice of him to get what he wanted. Joker starts releasing the toxins, poisoning the civilians, while Batman heads over on the Batwing to save the day.
The more accurate statement would be that he dicks around in the sky while Knox is actually doing the saving, causing the balloons to go into the air, and Batman finally doing something and taking the balloons out of Gotham. Joker takes it well. Batman tries to blast the Joker to bits, but apparently has bullshit ass aim, only for the Joker to take out his comically large revolver and takes out the Batwing with one shot. Guess Batman made that damn thing out of his parents' memory. Get it? Cause it's crumbling!
Distasteful! But that would explain why he didn't confront the Joker till now.
Ya cierra la boca!
Good aim, sir.
The Batwing crashes and Joker takes Vicky to the nearby church. Batman somehow survives thanks to literal plot armor, and we get an overly long sequence of both Joker and Batman climbing the stairs of this damn church.
It's supposed to be building the anticipation for the final battle.
All it does is add more to this movie's runtime.
Batman reaches the bell tower and fights off Joker's thugs while Joker himself has a dance with Vicky. He manages to deal with them.
Don't you mean kill?
And he has his last fight with the Joker. Well, less a fight and more a beatdown. He punches the Joker off the building, but not without him dragging both Bats and Vicky as well, leaving them both hanging.
And he uses his grapple to escape. He uses his grapple to escape. He uses his grapple to escape. He uses his grapple to escape! Thank you. So, Joker falls to his death, and as any rational person would do at this point, Vicky decides it's time to leave Gotham, keeping Bruce's identity a secret. The Batman also leaves a letter saying how he would continue to protect Gotham, leaving a bat signal in case they ever need to summon him.
The film concludes as Vicky is picked up by Alfred, told that Bruce wouldn't be able to join them, as we pan up on the Gotham skyline and we see the Batman stare at the bat signal, forever the city's dark protector.
So, Batman 89. Overall, it's...
Excuse me, sir. Shouldn't Master Lewis be in hospital?
Nah, he'll be fine. Plus, I'm feeling so much better now.
And also, I kind of need to be here to conclude the review, so I'll push through.
I mean, alright, but I didn't even get to call the draw.
Yeah, whatever. Your job is done here, so get out.
Well, can I at least get paid for my services today?
So you're gonna get to your review?
Oh yeah, we were, thank you. So, this film still stands as a valiant and respectful start to the Batman's movie career.
The directing and set designing is masterfully done, capturing a neo-noir atmosphere and gothic appearance that makes the whole city stand out and seem timeless. The score is wonderfully moody yet grand and heroic. The performances are also really solid all around. Michael Keaton does a good job portraying the stoic yet charming identities of Bruce Wayne/Batman. Alexander Knox is a fun character who serves as a good partner for Vicky, and Alfred is a joy in anything he's in. But the true standout has to be Jack Nicholson as the Joker. He steals every scene he's in.
Overall, while other Batman films have come a bit more faithful to the character, this is still a great first step when it comes to adapting him in live action. So, I give it an 8 out of 10.
Sir, please, I have kids. I have a wife. She's in hospital, sir. Come on now.
Well, glad to know your nostalgic coping mechanism is still intact, because for me, this was a bore to sit through. The mystery of Bruce's origin does less to make me intrigued by the character, and instead makes me non-invested in his conflict. Vicky is a box-standard love interest with nothing really sticking out. There is some weird inconsistency with the tone and use of music, though the songs are okay, I guess. The fights are pretty lame for a superhero movie, and the titular character is the worst character in the film, being both boring and passive at the same time. I didn't care for this film at all. But I guess without it, we wouldn't have The Dark Knight. I guess that has some value to it. 5 out of 10.
Huh. Higher score than I thought from you.
Do not push your luck.
Okay then. Well, if you guys enjoyed this video, please consider liking, sharing, subscribing, pressing the bell icon, or leaving a simple comment.
Or don't, and validated voices in my head.
Aside from that, I hope you all have a wonderful...
Hi, motherfucker. Do the rest of your day. That's what's happening right now. I didn't get paid, y'all getting clapped. You're gonna pay me, and you're gonna change your goddamn score. You know damn well it's a goddamn 6 out of 10 at best. Where's my money? Where is it?
You wanna watch Batman after this?
Yeah, sure.
This was a nostalgia fest?
Nostalgia.
Come on!
Okay.
Out of this room!
I will shoot you.